Hello, this is Blair Stanislao with the Happy Lyon Center. Welcome to our podcast, Mystical and Infamous, where we have playful and easy conversations about anything mystical, getting to the heart of all things strange and weird. Join us in a bit of magical tomfoolery, spreading the alchemy of love and light. And now, we invite you to enjoy the show. In today's episode of Mystical and Infamous, you'll hear a casual, brief post-meditation conversation between some members in the Elevate Me Now group. Members discuss how the group currently impacts their lives, questions that pop up from the day's message, and how best to implement the lessons learned in their day-to-day lives.
How much do you feel you have succeeded in carrying over this elevated sense of oneness after we close the session? Anybody?
I'm always up for talking.
I know.
So used to any words.
No, you're a wonderful addition as far as that's concerned. But you
So I do believe I'm able to carry it over. I also think that this is a tool in the toolbox and that it helps elevate me from where I'm working on my own to get on a daily basis.
Good. Okay. That's good. Because I think if the more sensitive you are to this and not coming down fast and retaining it, it's not a matter, or not, I shouldn't say down back, it's the consciousness, it's the focus of the consciousness. And we are perfectly capable of being in an elevated state of consciousness as well as being, it's the 2 feet in both energies, as it were. And this is the goal, in essence, is to not be so locked into the 3D creation, but see it and feel it and experience it from another level. And you, Andrea?
Yeah, that's interesting you ask that question because I found that it easily slips out of my awareness when we're done with the session. But when we're in the session, I mean, I'm still like out in the ethers, like right now. So coming back, is like slower when I'm really in the zone. But I felt like an overwhelm from 3D over the weekend. And I actually did Qigong, like without the video, but I just did what we do.
Good.
And I felt centered again. So I think if I just remember that there's ways to remind myself and do those things, I'm back again. Like I'm just like, whew, like I got it now. Which also reminds me of a question I had. When doing Qigong, I noticed we always kind of do similar flow. But when I was doing it on my own, it was out of order. And so I was just wondering if there's any...
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, my first reaction to that was you were led to do it that way. It doesn't really matter. When I channel this, because I do a routine that's a lot more extensive than this, a lot more expensive. But when I was picking ones that I thought were appropriate, I was trying to pick them, and it came through that this was the order. I had them in different order several times, and I tried to change it before we put it in this order. It just seemed right. So, but no, as long as you're really connecting with them, the exercises, as long as you're remembering to breathe and deeply and slowly, remembering to get into the body and feel the oneness and all that stuff, I think it's fine. Whatever works.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that felt great. And I also loved what came up today about remembering that you can handle anything from a calm space. And so you can calm the nervous system down and things will be cleared. That's something I'm also working on, where just getting back to calm, even when there's chaos or.
Yeah, you're just sent the eye of the storm, as it were. That's what you have to remember, be the eye of the storm. I think we had a message like that a while back. Yeah, indeed, it's your focus. Where is your focus? If your focus is on the chaos, then you're going to be chaotic. if your focus is on being the calm and the centered and the eye of the storm is at work, then it's going to be save your butt, but also affect everything around you. And if it doesn't, then that's fine. But at least you are not carried away with it.
So, Andrea, I have a story for you on that. Yesterday, they tested me on this because I've been doing pretty good staying in that like neutral observer space. And they're like, sweet, we're going to get his car to break down on him like 6 times on one drive and see how he does. And I did it. They were actually impressed. They were like, seriously? And I looked at him, I'm like, you guys can't shake me. Like, I'm good. Like, I am here. I am in the zone. And like, I'm just going to work through whatever. And then they actually gave me the answer on how to fix it. They're like, okay, you can go home now. And they're like, here, do this.
Oh, that's perfect. I love that testimony. Yeah, that's great. And this is what I mean about it changes your life. It gives you more control over what's going on.
Yeah.
And carried away in emotions or such. So,
and it makes it harder. It makes it harder for you to watch others. And I know our goal is to be the example. But when you watch others and you see what they're doing and you're like, oh my God, you're bringing all of this in.
Yeah, it's hard.
Like, and you just sit there and you're just like, okay.
Well, that's where the compassion comes in.
Yeah.
And you just have the compassion for people and know that that's just their trip. But remember, always remember, this is not real. It's a tough one. Maya is an illusion. And the more you're in the zone, the more you can handle the idea that you have compassion, you have love, but you can't get caught up in the duality that causes the suffering. Easy to say.
Yeah.
Hard to do.
I had a fun one the other morning. I woke up and it was like my body was foreign. And I was just like, oh, I'm back in this body again.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. This dense energy. Ooh.
I'm like, okay, let's do it.
I do that every morning. Like you open your eyes and go, oh, I'm still here.
Right?
Yeah. That was a great in Little Big Man. There was a Dustin Hoffman movie. It was great. And he was I think I've told this story before, but he was a white man stolen by the Indians, brought up and then went back and forth. But his grandfather, he was out in the plains, and the grandfather, they said, oh, grandfather, you're dying. No, don't worry, my son, I'm going to the whatever he said. And he closed his eyes and it's all Dustin Hoffman's all sad. And all of a sudden raindrops, boom, boom, one on the guy's face. And he went, blinked and went, I'm still here?
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You have to put, again, it's perspective. Put this life in the proper perspective and don't get caught up in it.
If this conversation resonates with you, consider joining us in our bi-weekly meditation practice through the Happy Lyon Center, where you'll get the support you need in developing your own going within practice before, during, and after our sessions. To learn more, click on the link provided in the description of this episode. Thanks for listening to this episode of Mystical and Infamous podcast with the Happy Lyon Center. Send requests for topic discussions, questions, and comments to podcast@happylyoncenter.com. That's podcast@happylyoncenter.com.